All right, everybody, welcome back to hour number 2 of Blades in the Dark. My name is Matt. That's Mike. That's Ian. That's Emily, and that's Anthony. We are here to do a crime. So, Ian, when we last left off, we were in the process of setting up to gather some information on these big dumb nerds, the Foghounds. Why don't you take us away?
Yeah. So the plan is to just let me a sec. I'm reading some stuff on this. So the plan is to kind of have Weaver gather info on said fence, and then have Krisa call in the Foghounds to lure them in to do the dirty deed. So I think what we'll do is we'll just kind of do the roll, and I'll tell you what you get out of this and what happens, because I think that's really important to setting it up. And it kind of it's easier for me to kind of roleplay this, and I'll give you the gist of what Meyer says to you and how the Foghounds respond to Krisa. So
you want the engagement roll or the gather info roll?
There's the gather info roll. So I think what we're going to be doing is first of all, Mike, you're going to be talking to Meyer, and what exactly you're trying to distract him to kind of gain info of their surroundings is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, it's kind of like the idea is that I'm not trying to make it obvious that I'm there to scout things out. I'm pretending to be a legitimate potential client while the conversation is happening. I'm looking at where he's set up. I'm looking at the surroundings. I'm trying to see if I see any guards. So I could argue for this to be either a survey or a prowl roll. It could potentially be prowl.
Yeah.
Obviously prowl is better for me. So
yeah, I think it depends on like what exactly. So the other half is what is Krisa planning on with the Foghounds? What is your? This is the part of the plan where I get a little sketchy on because I don't understand it. What exactly? So enlighten me, because I know that it's not half-assed. So what exactly is your plan, Anthony, with the Foghounds?
Well, our plan.
Yes.
I'm going to tip off. Primarily, I'm there to tip them off to his presence.
Yeah.
That it's weird.
Okay.
But while I'm there, I might as well look around, right? See what the reaction is. How many guys are there? Where are they stationed? What can they see? Are there snipers? Blah, 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 blah. Obvious things that could curtail our operation. Maybe key placements for bombs. Maybe where all the vision is. Maybe where they might keep him. Any information I can gather while I'm there is helpful.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, like, the idea isn't for them to come and get me right now. Like, if that's what they decide to do, then obviously that's what happens. But our intention is to have me show up here, like, 2 or 3 times before they come to the decision, okay, this guy's starting to encroach on our stuff, so we need to take care of him.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
so
I understand. It's up to your decision, but I honestly think this sounds like a survey role, because you're kind of watching and gathering info by that way. You mentioned that, Mike, but does that sound like kind of what Krisa is doing, Anthony? Kind of just surveying the scene. Okay.
Yes, I guess it depends on how that conversation goes to be, to what he learns / where he goes, what he sees. If they take him in, there's lots of things that could impact what I learn.
Yeah.
But that's the basic gist of the role. That's my aim.
Okay, cool. All right, who's leading this role? Which one of you is kind of the main person doing this? Which one of you wants to basically I'm asking you which one of you wants to deal with the stress if someone fails.
I mean,
what's your survey at?
It almost requires nothing from him other than just being next to the guy. That's our whole implication, so I should leave the role.
Okay.
Yeah,
like
makes sense.
Between me wanting to know what the effectiveness of my observation is, as well as my effectiveness in convincing them that he's a threat or like anything worth their time. Which really might just amount to saying, "Oh, hey, he's with the Gambit. Have fun."
Yeah.
Which might be enough. I don't know.
Yeah.
What's your survey at, Anthony?
That's a strict 0.
Nice.
Okay. Can we ask for any devil's bargains or anything of that sort here?
Might be more of a consort for me. I don't know. I don't know what the hard part is really.
I have a
the hard
bargain.
Yeah, you go with the devil's bargain. The hard part about the fact that what you're doing is kind of it's hard because both of you have to roll the same roll because that's how group actions work. But like then kind of finding the reasoning behind why you'd both be doing the same thing is the difficult part here. That's why I said survey, because it seemed like the most likely thing that both of you would be doing.
It makes sense that it would both be survey. Can I offer a devil's bargain?
Yes, you can.
The devil's bargain is he gets the extra dice, but if he gets caught or slips that, or if he fails, someone finds out that either he's a part of the Gambit or the Gambit's behind this, and instead of taking down Weaver, they go for us.
Or Krisa.
Depending on if they find out that he's a part of the Gambit or that the Gambit's behind it, right? Like
the thing being, if I fail to roll, they take me in instead, right?
Right.
Well, no, the devil's bargain, that would happen no matter what the results of the roll is.
Yeah.
Oh.
The hard part of devil's bargains is it has to coincide with like if it that's a good idea, but like it has, unfortunately the downside would be like he has to be noticed no matter what.
Here's an idea. He gets the +1 die, but with them getting tipped off, they maybe add a little bit more security at the front door. You know, like they are a little bit more prepared for. Maybe we take a -1d to our engagement roll or something. I don't know. Like they become more prepared for what we're doing.
Wait,
I mean, if it's a survey,
this is giving you a +1 dice to the roll.
Never mind.
By doing
I'm trying.
So I can just go. Okay, I mean.
Yeah, I'm trying real hard. Anyone else?
I know. You can push yourself. That's a good one. So the problem here is I'm having a very interesting time of thinking about how the Foghounds work. And yeah. I don't have any devil's bargains for you, unfortunately, at this time. It's just I can't think of anything that wouldn't be so terrible as to what, like, essentially, like, the only thing I'd think of is, like, yeah, Krisa gets noticed, which is, like, really tough. I mean, if you want to take that one, you can, but...
I kind of like it just because it makes sense.
Okay.
I will push myself for me.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to take the devil's bargain, Anthony, you can totally do that. They'll kind of know that something's up. They'll kind of know that you're with the Gambit, or they'll figure out something about it. They'll still kind of want to get you guys, but they'll still, know you're in on it. So, all right. So, if you'd like to go and make your survey rolls, it's going to be just a standard position.
Risky?
Yeah, risky position, standard effect kind of thing right now, unless you guys have anything that gives you bonuses to info.
No. I don't. Wait, was there something about gather info? Not from mine, but for the crew sheet. Did we have something that helps us with gather info?
I don't think so. The crew sheet, the one that we have, helps you guys with group action. So if either one of you rolls, so if you both roll 6, it'll be a crit, which is good. But you also get +1 to resistance rolls. So this could be going very well for you.
Let's do it.
Right, go ahead and roll your dice.
That's not a 6.
That's
Why does it say that Wacasis made that roll?
Just because it's
Oh,
That's
that's
just
you.
my like text chat bubble. It's
what
who
about-
said that Reaver.
There's me.
I mean,
There's me.
There's a 6.
I got a 6.
All right.
Good
I
job, boys.
believe that means great. So, all right. So basically what happens is it goes down exactly what you wanted. So, Meyer, while talking to you, you kind of notice a couple things, Mike, that there are like position. He's been given a lot of good items lately, and that the position of like you actually see a couple guards around that are clear Foghound guards. Clearly they see him as a good asset now that they've lost one of their really good ones. And it's not terrible though. You see it completely doable, and that your deception plan is perfect. In fact, and Krisa, what happens is, well, actually, I want to know, how do you tip them off to knowing, like, you know, I mean, Meyer, you know, that you talk about it. I mean, what exactly do you say, Mike, to him that, you know, how do you tell him that you're a person that wants to sell stuff?
I just straight up walk up to him and he asks me what I'm doing there.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes on a different accent than he normally has. And he goes, yes, I'm looking for someone to potentially buy some products that I have. And some people around the docks have said that you're the guy to talk to. Is that right?
It's like, what product exactly would that be?
I got some, let's see. Got some silk cups. I got some fine cutlery. So you got some plates and some bowls.
So he's like, like initially he was like, oh yeah, this guy's got some good stuff, and then he's like, oh, it's just things that normal thieves would sell to me. Okay, so like the initial like idea that you would have something great, but also suspicion turns into like, oh, he's just a normal thief, and that like, and it instantly like any kind of thing like, oh, this guy's got some plan or something goes out the window. Like he's just like, oh, okay, yeah. He starts telling you the price range of what he takes for items and such. And so while this is going on, I think we'll cut to Krisa. And Krisa, what exactly do you do that tips the Foghounds off to that he's over there? Like what is your whole goal to do there?
He walks up, but he's kind of like straightened up his look a little bit.
Like he licked his hand and like put his hand like hair over.
Yeah. He doesn't really look effectively clean. He looks a little pathetic actually, just because it doesn't work. Like, you know, he tightened his tie and walked over and it, you know, tries to be very businesslike, but he just looks like he's a guy. He's like the bum on the street that saw the crime.
Yeah.
You know, and he walks up to the, I guess, guard that's, you know, in earshot and says, "Hey."
Yeah, and there's like, so what it is, it's kind of like the dock, and then the gangplank leads up to their war boat. And there's a couple guards standing there by the plank and kind of conversing. And so as you say that, they both turn to look at you, and one of them, like with this blonde guy with the mustache, kind of looks at you, and he's like, "What?"
"I got something to say to you."
They they look at each other and they're like, "Yeah, what's that? What do you want to say?"
"Let me come over there."
They kind of look at each, like the one guy, like the mustache is like, he's not gonna stop you from coming over there. Like he's like over here to like, he points at like where they're standing.
Krisa does what he thinks is a bow, but it's more of a curtsy.
Yeah.
and hops onto the gangplank and like, you know, kind of scuttles over. And he leans in real close and goes, "There's a guy over there."
they're like, uh-huh.
"Do you know that guy?"
What guy?
"The guy."
They kind of look, and they're like, "I don't."
They don't know who the fence is?
Oh no, the fence. I'm like,
okay.
Pointing
right at him.
Yeah, so they're like, Yeah, we know the guys. What's up with it?
Yeah, but who is he talking to?
Like the mustache guy kind of looks, and the other guy has to kind of peer around him to look, and they're like, we don't know what who is he?
You're the Farghounds, right?
The mustache guy kind of, you could see this kind of dead look come into his face, like not one of these people. And the other guy,
well, I know stuff. I've heard things. You're the Farghounds, and he's a gumshoe. And I just thought that might be worth something to you.
The other guard, who's quite much younger, he's clearly the newbie, and you can see he's got too much pride in the gang. He's like, we're called the Foghounds. You stupid bum. And as he's saying this, mustache kind of looks at you, and he gives you a strange look, and he's like, wait a minute. Don't I recognize you? And he kind of like... That? Yeah, he says that, and he steps towards you, like, kind of slowly.
Oh, he's stepping up.
He catches a sharp whiff of sulfur.
Yeah. The mustache withers just a tad. And he continues to look at you, and he's like, I think I, and then, like, you can see, like, it dawns on him, like, he suddenly realizes who you are, and then he looks over at Weaver, and he starts to slowly realize who he is, and he just goes, like, shit. And you can see him, like, grab his sword and start he kind of looks at the other guard, he's like, come on. And they kind of brush past you to go run for the fence, and they're moving that way. And I think, unless you guys
like to be gone when they get there.
Yeah,
I look around.
Yeah,
yeah. Take a gander at the boat while they're gone. Set a bomb.
Yeah,
maybe.
so the boat. Yeah, so the boat is like probably. Trying to think of what it looks a bit like those. Gosh, what do they call the old boats they used to work like to kind of using the Civil War, kind of like the one they had in the Revenant. Yeah, like the one in the Revenant, kind of. And there's a couple guards on the deck. These two were just clearly watching the gangplank. So there's a couple guards on the deck, kind of walking around. One of them like kind of glances at the two run away, and then he kind of looks at you, but like he doesn't see any threat. In fact, he's like sipping on coffee. Like he's clearly way too relaxed. So he kind of goes back to just walking around, and there's no other guards on the dock. Like the boat's just sitting there.
Meanwhile, up in one of the apartments that's abandoned nearby, Lyric and I are looking through a couple like old spy glasses. And I look at Lyric and I'm like, "What the fuck is he doing? He's on the boat right now. They're just letting him on the boat. These gobshites are idiots. You see what they're doing there? Do you see that? Would you ever leave your ship like that, Lyric?"
Oh, hell no.
Oh, they don't deserve that ship, in my opinion. I think we should take it. And then we can...
I agree.
We can cut back to them.
Yeah.
Start our own fleet.
So Kreese is pretty studious about this. He's taking mental note of anything that's not complicated and writing down like the number of people he sees, where they are roughly, obvious positions on his arm. And he deposits carefully, like maybe 4 rats that scamper off unseen onto the boat.
Okay. Yeah, we kind of cut across to the like a couple of the docks, and Weaver, you do notice, like, kind of out of the corner of your eye, 2 guards start running from the boat in your direction. As Meyer is like talking about how if you have this plate, but it's engraved on the side with this like silver, it'll actually go for twice as much because the rich people like that and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's an unlimited duel.
Yes, so he's like bent over and he's looking at something and pointing and talking, and he just looks up and I'm gone.
Yeah. He kind of looks up from like this list of these different plates that you kind of said you had, and he's like, kind of peers out and looks around and sees the guards, and he's like, "Oi, what's going on?" And they kind of drawn up and like they're panting and they're like, and then like the one with the mustache looks back and Kreese's not at the dock anymore, and he's like, "Shit." And we like cut away, like they're completely flustered.
So what did we learn from that?
Yeah, so
Yeah, can I ask questions? Is that how we can do the gather information roll?
I mean, I'll kind of tell you what's going on. Is that they are prepared, but badly prepared. Like, they have the defenses, but they're clearly not very good at their job. They're like a tier 1 gang. Like, they're not amazing. They clearly have this fence that's good, but they don't have the manpower to properly defend it, so that if you were to go in there and attack them or whatever, even though they're defended for it, and even if they knew you're coming, which they kind of know something's up, you'd still very easily be able to take this from them. Also, their ship is unprepared as well. Yeah, that's equally bad for them, is now you've drawn the attention towards the fence as well, so their boat is unprepared. So while I did state earlier that you might actually be able to kill them all in this, I'm just throwing it out there. You could wipe out the Foghounds in one go. You can do this.
As we see them slipping away, Oscar and Lyric, like Oscar, like removes his spyglass and he looks at Lyric and says, "So tell me now, how good are you at diving?"
At diving.
At diving.
Get a shot.
Because maybe we're not the ones seeking out a ransom after all. Maybe we're the ones who are helping Krisa with a bomb situation.
That's reasonable.
All right then.
I mean, I know my way around the Void Sea, so
I trust that you do. Anyway, and then he like grabs his bag and puts the spyglass away. Like we just casually walk out. I imagine that like as we're walking out of the building, like Oscar like has his arm like he's hunched over a little bit more than he normally is, and he's got his arm around Lyric and like he's just sort of walking, looking very, very frail.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm.
Yeah, as you walk away, like this Foghound that was on duty for the fence, who's clearly not doing his job, tips his hat to you as you walk by, like totally unknowing. Like,
good day to you, lad.
Professionals.
Am I all decked out at this point? Like
no.
Or okay,
no, we were just
normal.
Out. Yeah.
Just
okay,
cool. The joint.
Yeah. All right.
Shall we make that engagement roll then?
Yeah, I mean, what is your? I kind of given you some info. What's the plan exactly? So before we do this roll, I know exactly what to give you. Like,
what does it take for Krisa and Oscar to work together to make a bomb that can be put into a waterproof like metal casing and detonated either remotely or on a timer?
I think.
Oh my gosh, it's very sophisticated.
Maybe the boat's not good enough for us. Maybe it's not good enough for them either.
Yeah. So here's the thing. The kind of the way that. Yeah. No. So here's the idea. Engagement rolls go in. You tell me what you want to do. We make the engagement roll, and then we cut to the action. So I'm telling you where you're at. So if your goal is to then destroy, like, say your like goal is to here, like, we want to sneak into there and do this. Like, we want to sneak in and steal some stuff. Maybe like your plan was originally to steal from the fence. You could then we'd roll that deception like that stealth plan. If it rolls good, we cut to the action where you're stealing from him essentially, and see where it goes then. Or if it goes bad, we'll cut to a desperate position. So this is all about like what your plan is to do now. Like, because if I'm hearing you're trying to wipe them out while simultaneously take down a fence.
Well, we're trying to take the fence, not take them.
Yeah.
Right? So,
no, exactly. That's what I meant to say.
Again, like if the fence has no current employer, then we can become his employer quite easily, I think. So I'm wondering if our job should be Anthony.
How big a portal can she open to the Void Sea?
However big you want, baby.
Yeah, I thought it was like man-sized.
Yeah, it was like it was like roughly the size so that one person could be like it could open and one person could fit through.
I imagine. See, I was thinking like the size of like a hot tub, so it's big enough to like swirl.
That makes sense.
Like a
I was kind of thinking the size of a football field,
But,
I
just
was
like...
thinking exactly the size of one of these boats. But I thought that sessions ago, I promise.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that what we want to do here then is, make the final decision on what kind of plan we want to do. I still think it sounds like mostly deception to try to get me onto the boat and then spring a trap or an attack from there. If you want a bomb to be a part of that, then, we just roll, and the engagement roll will determine whether or not you were successful with the bomb or not.
Exactly.
That's kind of how I'm thinking.
Okay. So, can our... So if we roll like a 6 on our engagement roll, does that mean that we can like have Weaver have successfully gone in with a bomb?
The
like
way
get smuggled in with a bomb on his person?
The way that it works is it kind of tells you how well your plan is going according to plans. So if you get a 6, it's going according to plan, and then we'll cut to the action where it is happening. Right. You'll be in a position where you're actually a control position. So if you roll a 3, you're actually going to start off all in desperate positions. If you roll a 4 to a 5, it'll be risky, and 6 is control.
Sure.
Crit is basically you do the first part of your plan, it's finished, and then you move on to the next part of your plan.
Okay, cool. So then let's decide what is our plan.
Yes.
Like how are we doing?
I would like for Weaver to be in the middle of the boat, either with his weapons concealed on his person or having previously being smuggled into the boat for him to be able to access, and he can start murdering people, and then you guys can like come over the sides of the boat or something like that and help him out in a fight.
I would love to construct a bomb with Krisa and have Lyric go place it on the bottom of the boat.
Okay.
Just a big enough
with
one to
me
start
on the boat?
Yeah, just a big enough one to start sinking it. Not like sink it immediately.
We've had faith in you.
Yeah.
I mean, blow the boat with your teammate on it.
The plan is then to get on the boat and make sure you get out of there, okay? That's the plan.
Can we make sure everyone's dead before we get off the boat? That'd be kind of cool.
If everyone's dead, we should just take the boat. Just saying.
If we don't blow up the boat, then we have a warship.
Okay.
So.
Look, I'm fine with it. Yeah, we can set up our guy on the boat too.
Or we can throw everyone into the void sea per my special powers. I don't know how exactly that would work, but
that's a question for our dear dungeon master. If we kill/incapacitate the entirety of the crew of this warship, is the warship then ours to do with what we will, and what benefit does that provide us?
All the benefits of a boat.
So here's the part where I tell you can't have a hover tank, guys.
I don't want a hover tank. I want a warship.
We already have a boat. What's different?
The boat doesn't help us, with anything inland.
Yes, but you then have another boat upgrade that I am at a loss to know. I'll figure it out when I'll cross that bridge. I can't just say, yeah, you get the boat at this point. But if it works out,
we're at tier 0 game. Us seeking out a warship maybe is not what's going to happen. But
yeah, if it's not something that we, as a unit or even as you as the DM want to provide us, I'm fine with that. Obviously,
and
just blow it up.
Ultimately speaking, Lyric's the only one of us who has any damn clue how to be a part of a ship crew.
Yeah, exactly.
So
even if you were to get a fully functioning boat, the crew to then be able to you have a bunch of thieves as your crew, and these foghounds are all ex-dock workers and canal workers. They no boats.
Then we'd have to cross class into pirate. So,
however,
sell the boat.
We can cross that bridge when we get to it, and we'll see.
Yes.
So what I need now from you guys is basically the gist of what you want to do, what type of roll it is, and then we'll talk about dice that you get for doing it. So, you guys,
So I think
I want to be on the boat.
Yeah.
With my weapons.
I think that Krisa maybe is in fact the bomb guy trying to create some sort of explosive distraction, while Lyric and I think this is the original plan. Lyric and I are going to go up and try to pay the ransom.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Krisa will have had bombs ready, just to maybe not blow up the ship, but just fuck up the dudes on the boat and make them freak out and give Weaver a chance to get the jump on some dudes.
Yeah. Okay. So then I'm gonna. So the plan is then to have Weaver be kidnapped, quote unquote kidnapped by plan, onto the boat as being a member of the Gambit. To then you guys attack it and save him, also destroying the Foghounds.
Yes.
Now, here's the question I have to ask you: is this an attack or a deception plan? Because
kind of both.
I think
Attackception.
I think ultimately it's an attack plan. Because the deception part is part of the it was part of the gather information, and it's also it's Weaver's part of this mission. The rest of it, like the setup is a deception thing, but ultimately we are attacking a boat. So,
and that's why I was asking about linked plans earlier. You know, so it's ultimately, you know, if we want to just do it as one attack roll, then I think that we're totally within our rights as a group to do that, and it will still function the way that we want it to.
Mm-hmm.
So
no, attack plan sounds perfect, and I'll also tell you, by doing an attack plan, you'll be getting that bonus dice because they're not prepared for an attack. Like they're thieves. They're not like, you know, they're not like a bunch of bloodthirsty monsters that are prepared to be attacked by, like, you know, your crew. The other question is, are you involving the bandits in this? Like your cohort, what are they going to be are they going to be attacking with you? And because up to this point we haven't really
I'm sure that they're with us. They're probably with Krisa, you know, setting stuff up and making a big distraction by bombing stuff and maybe picking guys off from afar, you know.
Okay, all right, so let me just review these rules so I'll make sure that I do it right. Tier of your crew is 0, so we'd be starting at 2 dice, taking the lowest.
Mm-hmm.
However, you're going to be getting a bonus dice for the attack plan,
and a bonus dice for the
and a bonus dice for the vulnerability of that, because you've noticed that they're vulnerable to this specific attack and then are attacking. So it'll be 1d6.
You mean 2d6?
2d6.
Yeah, because we were 0, take the lowest, or 2, take the lowest, and then we were at 1.
And then 1, and then 2. Yeah.
Is one of those already counting the gather information as a bonus dice? You know, because of the quality of information we got, does that give us an additional die so we get 3? Or
here's the problem with
like
that.
Roll a 6
is the engagement doesn't actually mention gather information, so I was just using previous rules that we have. It sounds like gather information is I don't have any. I didn't see anything about gather information in these rules, so I kind of decided that the gather information would be the dice for the vulnerability of the attack.
Yeah, that's what I understood as well. Is that is the extra dice we're getting. So
I don't know. These rules are going off of stuff, and I already know that John had said, I couldn't find it. I was trying to find the quote, but he'd said that they're actually going to be taking out gather information as a downtime action. So, however, that I don't honestly, that could be included with new downtime actions as well. I don't know anything about that. Sure. All I know is that the rules are changing. So I'm kind of doing a very quick hack so that this works.
Well, let's go ahead and let's roll 2d6 and get ourselves engaged.
Who would like to do it?
I did it. Go. You rolled a 6.
All right.
Weaver.
Woo. So we're going to cut to the action. So the plan is working. Weaver approaches Meyer as the same guy, except for this time they obviously know that he's a part of the Gambit. They've talked to their sergeant, the man with the mustache, and know exactly who to look for. So they instantly whisk you away to their warboat. Their medium steamship, I should call it. It's called the Foghound. I mean, they're clearly full of themselves. And you get whisked onto this thing. You're kind of in the belly of the ship right now. Bag removed from your head. They're kind of talking to you. They haven't tied you up. They kind of have 2 guards on both of your arms. They didn't really disarm you because they're just trying to figure out what's going on now as well. And I think what we get is a quick scene of who was it exactly that was going to do the bomb thing?
Krisa's going to go with the friends.
Okay, the friends to activate the bombs.
And again, these bombs are not to destroy the ship.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. I mean, well, actually, Anthony, what do you do with the bombs? I want to know, because this is really important to how this goes. What do you do with the bombs? Like, what is your method of attack?
What are my friends, though?
The friends would be the extra... what are
the
they called?
bandits.
Shadows. Bandits.
Yeah,
Okay.
the bandits, yeah.
Kreesa has them all dressed up like a delivery company. And he has the bombs in shipping containers, but they're not disguised at all. He brings a shipment of bombs to the boat.
Okay.
Like they ordered it.
Okay. So, like, you kind of walk up to the gangplank, and it's this other guard. Like, the new guard and the captain were no longer on the duty there. It's this older, he's probably about mid-40s guy. He kind of looks at you. He's clearly tired. Like, there's, like, bags under his eyes, and he's like, "What's this?"
Bombs!
He kind of looks at the bombs.
I guess
and
we're not
he
doing a
looks at
deception
his
plan.
Yeah, no. He looks at the bombs, and he looks at his like order, and like on the order it says like delivery of explosives. However, he mistakes like these specific explosives that were used in mining to be bombs, and he's like, "Okay, load them up."
You got it, boss.
Yeah. It's just a normal day for him. Like, he's not sensing all this stuff, so he just loads you guys up onto the boat. How about Lyric and Oscar? What are you guys? Where are you guys while all this is going down?
They posted a ransom for Weaver, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what is the ransom?
It's something ridiculous, like 150 coins or something stupid, like that they know you can't pay, but it's like clearly a show of face that like we have your man.
Do they know that he's a part of the
Gambit? Is that 150 like individual coins, or is that 150 coin the Blades in the Dark currency? Because that is a shit ton of money if it's 150 coin.
Yeah, no, it's 150 coin. Like, they clearly don't want you to pay this ransom.
Yeah, so
it's like the entirety of the wealth of Duskfall.
Yeah.
You know.
So I look at Lyric and I say, "You remember the code word, don't you?"
Right.
What is it?
What is the code word?
This is the part where you tell me.
Oh. I like spaghetti.
All right.
We're going with spaghetti.
All right, then spaghetti it is. Now, hopefully Kreesa remembers that as well, because that's the signal for him to detonate the bombs. So, hopefully he'll be able to make it to Weaver, and we'll be able to clear up this this top deck of idiots. Now, here, grab my arm, and we can get going.
All right.
Let me do the talking. You can fire first. How does that sound?
Sounds all right by me.
All right, good lass. Let's get going. So we kind of walk around the corner after having that pep talk. And again, I'm doing the same thing that the guy like who was like top of the morning to you, like was doing. Like when I was hunched over, walking very frailly, and I walk up, and I walk up on the gangplank. I don't look up to see if anyone's gonna like welcome me on the gangplank. I just walk to the top of the gangplank and stop at the edge of the ship. And the guard that was with that had like let them on the boat actually went with Kreesa and the bandits onto the ship. So there's another guard at the top of the gangplank, and he kind of like turns and sees you there. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing there?" "I've come to pay a ransom. It's time to talk. I know it doesn't look like I've got 150 coin, but you've got to trust me. I wouldn't bring it here. I need to talk to your captain."
Yeah, he kind of says, "All right, hold on a second," and he kind of dispatches, like he tells
Please
a couple
hurry.
of other foghounds.
My knees aren't what they used to be.
He kind of looks at your knees and he realizes you're kind of telling the truth, so he kind of sends a couple guards to watch you as he runs, and he fetches their leader. And I think what we'll do is their leader. Margaret, I believe her name is, or Margit Vale, kind of walks out wearing like a leather jacket. She's got an eye patch on, and her man, it's the man with the mustache, earlier walks out, along with their this hulking this brute of a man. His name's Bear, and he literally has a bear skin on.
Very good.
And so Margaret looks over at the mustache man. She's like, Goldie, who are these? Are these them? And he kind of looks at you guys, and he's like, "That's them."
I look up at Bear, and I just kind of like fix my glasses at him, and I'm like, "Oh, you're from the Northlands, aren't you?"
He looks at Margaret, and he's like, "Tell me right now, do I punch man, or is he the one that gives us money?"
Boy, I used to be as tall as you and as strong as you. It's amazing what age will do, and it's amazing what experience will do. Now here's the deal. I just need to talk with your captain, but I do not feel comfortable having you here threatening to punch me. I haven't even told you who I am or what I'm here for.
He kind of gets on his knees and he's like, "Little man, you don't scare me. If I was..." And as he kind of goes, he's clearly going on to this, like, I'm a tough man that could beat you to death, and Margaret kind of pushes him away and says, "Get out of here. Go patrol the docks or something. I'll take him and I'll take them down deck." And kind of looks at you too.
I'd love to talk to you over a cup of coffee or something like that. Decaf, preferably. 1 sugar.
She says, "Unfortunately, our cafe was..."
You don't have coffee on your boat? How do you survive here? When I was on the boat...
We don't have decaf. You'll have to take black or nothing.
Oh, we can make that work then. It's only a quarter past the morning, so I'll be able to sleep tonight. What do you say then, lass? And I look up to Lyric. Shall we head on down to the captain's quarters? Have a meeting?
She's playing the part of the strong, silent type. Like, she's like armored up right now, you know, because she's really playing up the part of the bodyguard. So she just kind of nods and
yeah. And when you nod, I just look back to Marge and I say, "You'll have to excuse her. She's my bodyguard. You have to understand. If I'm a man dealing with this much coin, I can't just come alone. You get that, right? You've got to be armed to the teeth, right?"
She kind of sighs and she's like, "Well, yes." And she says, "Your guard can stay out here. We don't intend on killing you, if that's what you think."
I don't believe you'll intend on killing me, but she has to stay with me. In fact, I can't walk without her.
And Lyric kind of she kind of winks and she takes out her flask and she's like, I brought my own libations. You don't have to worry about extending your hospitality to me.
Only 1 cup of coffee then.
She clearly is trying to decide if she's going to go with it or not. And Goldie, the mustache man, is clearly like about to say, "No, don't let this happen." And she's like, "All right. It's not like we couldn't kill you all if we wanted to anyways."
There's no use in fearing a man like me.
She's like, "Unfortunately, Bear will have to come along as well, but I can tell you that unless you do something, he won't be any problem."
That's just fine. Bear can come along.
Bear kind of grins at you, and you can see he's missing like 4 or 5 teeth in different spots of his mouth. And you head below deck. Yeah, you head below deck with the 3 of them and 2 guards as well. And they lead you to a room. You probably see, like, literally, like, as this is happening, as you walk through one of the rooms, like, the bandits unloading explosives into an area with the like tired man writing down a check mark on his thing and talking with Kreesa, as Kreesa probably does whatever, like, you know, he does. I mean, like, even like we'll probably hear we hear a tidbit of him like saying like, "All right, and that's 50 pounds of gunpowder there. Is that correct?"
Yep.
He's like, "1 yes would suffice," and we kind of like, you know, we lose sight of them as it like moves us along. We enter like a kind of a little bit like a larger room, and in the middle of the room, we catch a sight of Weaver, who's sitting on a chair, and it's like one of those rooms where it's like really dark, but like there's a light that's clearly shining on top of him, so he's like the only person we kind of see at the moment. And there's like 3 other guards in the room, and the 2 guards. Like the 2 guards that were with you, 3 of the you coming down with the other 3 of them were like, they kind of stay at the door, so they enter the room, and Margaret says like, "Here's your man. Now let's get down to money."
All right, Weaver, how are you doing today? How have they treated you?
Fantastic.
It looks like it. You look well cared for. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. Margaret? May I call you Marge?
No.
All right. May I call you Captain Margaret?
You may call me ma'am if you need to.
Yes, ma'am. That's just fine with me. You can call me Sarah if you'd like to. Or you can call me Oscar.
I won't.
All right. That's fine. Anyway, now that the pleasantries are well taken care of, I was about to talk about this coffee that you promised me.
She's like, yes, my men are getting it right now.
All right.
They'll be here in a second.
All right. Sounds good.
She's like, we'll talk about money while we're waiting. So,
right.
and in fact, where is that money that we talked about?
Well, firstly, how do you expect a man to carry 150 coin into a ship? It's obviously not air.
She's like, yeah, well, and she looks at Bear. Let's just say the messenger wasn't exactly realistic with his price.
Is it 15 then? 15 we can do a little bit more.
She's like, yes, it was around 15? That price.
All right. I look at Lyric, I'm like, 15 coin. That's all right. That's not so bad. But you know what you can do with that.
It's totally bad. Like
no,
that is.
I know.
Like,
it's a
even
joke.
as you're saying, it's clearly like like what? This better be like some like diplomat or somebody important. Or like.
I bet you could hire quite an alchemist for that much. Important. Maybe even just 66% of that much. You could hire a pretty good alchemist for that, who might be able to do some magic around here. Maybe clean up some of the rust on the ship. But maybe a good cook, someone who can, and then like I reach back and I break. Is there a window behind me or something?
There's like a porthole.
Okay, I kind of like lean back into the porthole and I'm like, someone who can make a giant plate of spaghetti. And I yell spaghetti so that Grace can hear it.
Yeah, there's like a pause.
Yeah, there's like, kind of looks like nothing happening. I'm like, spaghetti
and like
noodles.
Yeah, like and as like there's this awkward silent pause where she's like, okay, the door opens and a guard comes in with like a plate of coffee on it. And I think we'll cut to Krisa and the bandits as spaghetti is. You hear spaghetti like waft out of the air from the other side of the boat.
Is it very clear what he said from where I am?
It's like you hear spaghetti like very briefly on the wind. Like the guy writing the thing, he's like, what was that? But like, and he was distracted. He didn't know what it was, but you clearly know what it was.
Is he?
Would Weaver know that that's the code word?
Yeah, the conversation with Lyric and I was just for the sake of the audience knowing that there's a code word.
You all know the code word.
Yes.
Okay, then as soon as the code word is, I'm
going
to try to stab Margaret in the face as soon as he says the code word. So I'm going to do,
Oh.
How far walking distance from that interaction am I?
It didn't seem like
you're on like the back end of the boat, and they're kind of towards the front end of the boat.
How far am I from like the door to wherever I am? That area.
So you two are standing, the two of you, the man and the guard, with all the bandits on like bringing in the stuff. They're kind of setting it down and unloading it onto like the pallets there. You two are standing next to an open door that leads into the corridor, and at the other side of the corridor, the other side of the ship, there's the door to where we're at.
Okay. He would walk in the direction wherever he's more audible and just yell back, "Spaghetti!"
I'm sorry. I just get so excited when I think about spaghetti. One time I traveled to Aruvia and I'm just like trying to stall until this bomb blows up because I'm like, oh shit, do you remember?
I'm like flying across the room going to stab Margaret in the throat because you said the code word.
I did, but the code word is for the bombs.
I'm already moving. Yes.
You're jumping.
I don't know what to say.
That's fine.
All right, Michael. We will currently right now the timeline. Oscar said spaghetti, so Weaver is now in action, and at the other side of the boat, like as you're flying towards her, you hear like Krisa say spaghetti back towards you guys. So give me a dice roll.
Devil's bargain for this here skirmish roll that I'm rolling to murder this woman.
You could be in a desperate position because you've exposed yourself to Bear's
attack.
It's spaghetti.
If that's the devil's bargain, I will take it. I will take the desperate position devil's bargain if that is the one that is being offered.
I like it.
Okay.
Basically, the devil's bargain. The reason behind it is your weapons were not directly on you, but they were actually like on a table, not very far from you. So when everyone was distracted by the spaghetti and the coffee entering the room, it actually created a perfect time for you to get the weapon, and then make a break for her. But they're kind of prepared at that point.
All right.
So
I will take the devil's bargain and be in a desperate position.
Yes.
I will use my devil's footsteps at 1 stress to move really fast, because it says running is one of the athletic feats that I can perform. So I'm like superhuman levels of fast. And for my Rising Moon style, I will say that I will be fighting defensively for this encounter.
Okay.
So that the level of harm that I inflict and take is reduced.
Okay.
So now that all that out of the way.
There will be a consequence because we've kind of talked about your devil's foot sex aspect. There will
Devil's
something.
foot sex. Hell yeah.
Devil's foot sex. He's got a foot fetish. That will trigger something. We kind of talked about it last time you used it, you used your thing, but there will be a consequence. But you'll find out what it is in a minute.
Okay, yeah. So I'll go ahead and do that. We're in a desperate position. What's my effect here?
I think your effect is
great.
It's great because of your footsteps ability.
And I'm a badass.
Self-proclaimed.
All right, here we go. Oh god, that's the worst.
So you say.
Yikes.
Well then, so you jump for them. Margit kind of turns around, and if not for Bear, she'd be dead. And as she turns around, Bear jumps out of the way and slams into you, as you're going for her, and you're gonna suffer a severe harm.
Oh.
Reduced because of my
Yes.
fighting defensively.
Because if you're fighting
You also
defensively,
get
so
+1d
it'll
to
be 2
resisting
harm.
that if you
If you choose to.
Yep.
So right now you're looking at
And
level 2 of harm.
We haven't determined loadout
let's see.
either, so you could have armor.
see. I was just going to describe that when he's, lunging across the room, if you're looking at him, then it seems like he kind of shimmers a little bit, like a mirage kind of effect.
Mhm.
And is
Scotty beams him
moving
up.
super fast across.
Okay.
And then he gets slammed against a wall.
Yeah. Bear, this big hulk of a man, big bearded hulk of a man, just pushes you up against a wall. And so you would be taking you're going to be taking level 2 harm as he kind of tries and punch you with his, he's got gauntlets. They're not they're not brass knuckles like Silas, but they're basically gauntlets, of armor that he's trying to hit you with, specifically his left one. And it has these nasty barbs on it, that he's trying to get you with. You can resist it if you want.
Yeah, I could resist that if I wanted to. Let's. Oh god. What would be what would be the description of that harm that would be taken?
Level 2, it would be punctured skin and cracked rib.
Cracked ribs.
I hate when my skin gets punctured.
All right, so I could be rolling my resistance. That would be using. I'd be using prowess. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's 3.
Yeah, and you get +1 die.
1.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. So I'll resist that. Yeah.
Okay.
Prowess, 1 bonus die.
Yeah.
6.
Okay.
So I take no stress.
Yeah, so as he lunges for you to punch you into the wall, you kind of dodge his punch and it hits the side of the boat, the wall, and it shudders and you kind of dance back out of his grasp. And meanwhile, the guy with the coffee drops his tea and kind of looks at Oscar and Lyric.
I think he probably drops it on my leg. And I look up to him, and before we like do anything, I just look at him and I say, "Yeah, fucking gobshite, you've spilled out coffee on me." And I'm like dabbing at my leg.
Yeah.
Actually, I think Lyric should act next.
Yes. So who was it that dumped the coffee on you? Just somebody who was coming in?
Fucking Alan.
Yeah, so the person who dumped the coffee was just a random foghound that had been told to go get coffee.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a little quick sketch of the ship, the room we're kind of in, so that it makes sense.
What is my level 1 harm classified as? Since I reduced it to level 1.
Yeah, it's like grazing. Like he hit you with the gauntlet, and it kind of grazed your side, whereas it didn't hit you. It still kind of threw you off, and there's cuts and stuff, and like maybe bruising, but it's not like he didn't hit you straight on. So the room we're in. Let me just a sec. I'm not very good at Roll20s, like a UI.
I mean, it's just a small little office room, right? Like with a desk in it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, kinda. It's actually very sizable.
We could just theater of the mind it.
Yeah. No. We'll do it for time's sake. So basically, in this room, it's a small cabin area, kind of the captain's quarters. And I say small, it's not huge is what I'm trying to say. It's enough to fit all of you comfortably in it and have room. So right now it's Oscar, Lyric, Weaver, Bear, Goldie, and Margit, and then 2 other foghounds, as well as the one that had just come in the door. So right now it's starting to get full, but not super full.
Okay. Yeah, because Lyric is heavily armed at this point, and I don't know if this is cheating, but she has 2 pistols on her as part of being heavily armed. So I would like her to simultaneously try to take a shot at the guy that spilled coffee on Oscar, and
yeah, because fuck that guy, right?
Yeah. So rude. And now, did you say that is Bear still in the room?
Yeah, Bear is still in there. It's currently Bear, Coffee Man, and Ma'am, Captain Margaret.
Okay.
As well as us and Weaver.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Lyric is gonna try and take a shot at both of them, if that's feasible.
You're shooting at Coffee Man and Bear?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Whether or not I'm successful at both, I'd like to give it a try.
Quick question before we get too far away from what I did. If I say that I had armor on, do I have to use it for this particular instance of harm, or can I at a later time during this same one say?
You can choose to use it whenever you feel that it needs to be. So if like you're kind of like, if it's level 1 harm, you don't have to use it because like level 4 could kill you, you know.
Right.
You could save it for a level 4 so it wouldn't kill you or something like that. So no. Okay. All right. So what are you going to be rolling?
Let's see.
You're trying to shoot it.
Yes.
I could see this. This is just my opinion, but I could see it either being prowl or, hunt, or doing kind of a mind blank is what I had. Skirmish action, because skirmish is close quarters combat, and we're all kind of close.
Yeah, because I have a point in both skirmish and hunt, so it's really kind of either for me.
Okay.
I'm whatever you think is best, I can go for, really.
I mean, I like the thought of it's a skirmish because it's very close quarters, and
it was very reactionary, where Lyric has just kind of been, you know, the quiet presence, and now all of the sudden she's
spaghetti.
Yep, whipping out her guns.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay.
So it'll be
Ma'am spaghetti.
It'll be like a skirmish roll. It'll be at controlled.
Okay.
And then probably just standard effect based off of your equipment. And you can push yourself or take a devil's bargain.
Do you have a devil's bargain?
I mean, it could be the same thing. You get put into a desperate situation by not executing this properly.
What it is, it's going to be that by taking the opportunity to go after them, Goldie is going to go after you. Because while Bear is dealing with Weaver, he, being kind of a military person, is going to see you as the target and attempt to take you down.
Okay. And is pushing yourself, is that 1 or 2 stress?
That's 2 stress.
Okay. I don't think it's worth it to push myself, so I'll take the devil's bargain, I guess.
Okay.
Make myself a target. Okay, so 1 bonus dice for that.
And you don't have any, I mean, do you have any abilities that are usable here? I'm trying to think.
Well, let's see.
Probably not. They're all dealing with...
I'm 3 stress away from trauma, and a lot of my magical, wonderful powers involve stress. Unless I wanted to try and attune to the ghost field and have a spirit attack someone.
I'm just going to say that you'll have plenty. You might need that stress later, so...
Yeah.
Oscar can attune. Don't worry about it.
All right. I trust you. Okay, here we go.
I'm already at 4, so...
All right.
Hey, nice.
That's all right.
So what's going to be what you're doing here is you hesitate. So that'll be like either you can...
I'm trying to shoot 2 people at once, so...
Yeah, so either at this point you can try to do it a different way, or you can take a minor complication or have reduced effect, suffer lesser harm, or a risky position. So I'm going to say... I'm going to say you're already being put into a risky position because of Goldie lunging for you. So I'm going to say you're going to have reduced effect if you're going to go through with it. Like, do you want to... I mean, I assume you're still trying to do this, trying to get them.
Do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I will.
So both the guns go off. The guy with the coffee that's going to draw his sword, you hit him in the sword arm. So, like, his sword arm kind of... Yeah. His arm is now incapacitated, and he kind of stumbles back and like hits his back against the door frame from the force of the blow. And Bear, like, you shoot him, and it like plinks off of a metal piece on his back, and it's gonna leave a mark. Like, he's hurt, but it's not enough to bring him down, and he's still gonna be going after Weaver. And Goldie is now advancing on you with the sword. But you have taken 1 person out of the action and hurt another person. So,
okay.
I think, if I'm am I correct, Anthony? You we're gonna cut back to you real quick as like basically the simultaneous events that happens in Oscar. I mean, Matt. I mean, what does Oscar do as this guy falls against the door frame?
So my action's very quick. He looks at the guy, and he's sitting down, and he like crosses his legs over, and he makes a comment about the shitty service. And then I'm gonna compel, or I'm gonna try to use compel here. I'm gonna try to attune to the ghost field, and summon the largest, burliest sailor ghost I can find, who will, and the command I will give is restrain, targeting Bear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good idea.
All right, I like that. So I assume that's gonna be like an attune roll.
It's I think so. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me just pull up your sheet real quick.
Sure. It's just an ability.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it says you can attune to the ghost field, so yeah, it'll be an attune roll. Okay. Same thing. You're gonna be in a control position. Okay. And I think it's going to be well, let me think.
Do I get +1 to my effect if I'm dealing with fuckfits?
I think, well, actually...
I'm just kidding.
I'm going to give you a potency because... Well, no, that's studying. Never mind. I'm going to say you're going to have standard effect because you just kind of know ghosts. Maybe like if someone like obviously if it was someone
it would make sense for me to have great effect because I don't know the ghosts around here.
Yeah.
I don't frequent this part of town.
Yeah.
Do you
want to?
Is there a devil's bargain?
Oh. Yeah. Oh gosh. I mean, does anyone else have any that come to the top of their head while they're thinking of all this?
A good devil's bargain for this is that when the explosion goes off, it rocks the boat and kind of throws everyone off balance, so that maybe reduced effect on the next round, essentially, the next action that you take.
Not taking it. I want this guy restrained by a ghost. The ghost is ethereal.
Yeah.
He does not get rocked by the boat being rocked. So, I'll push myself.
Yeah, if you want to do that,
Yep.
I mean, I might be able to come up with a devil's bargain, but
fine.
none come to mind. So if you want to push yourself, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll push myself. It's 2 stress, right?
Yes.
Okay. Taking 2 stress and adding a bonus die. There we go.
All
6.
right. Yeah, you do it.
So I look over at the corner and I say, "Oh, you, get in here and hold this man down. I know you didn't like him. I know why you're dead." And the ghost just kind of like perks up and just sort of like snarls and like, okay.
Yeah, and it's this ghost of this like fat sailor, like rotund, I should say. He's not particularly fat. He's just a stubby sailor.
Sure.
Yeah, and is like he's got water leaking out of his mouth, and he clearly drowned of some type of like you can see kind of like strangulation marks as well. Like something happened.
Some bear-sized hands, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he kind of rushes over at Bear and starts becoming more physical realm and starts trying to restrain Bear. So as Bear's like going for another punch on Weaver, his arm suddenly gets,
like held against the wall,
grabbed by this ghost, and he's like, what? What is this? And he kind of stumbles backwards as this ghost grabs grabs him, and Margit kind of cusses and goes to help him. And I think what we're gonna do now is we'll cut over to Krisa. And Krisa, what happens is you say spaghetti, and suddenly this as you say it, you hear this kind of scuffle start. There's a yell, there's a crash, you hear china breaking of some kind.
You hear guns shooting.
Yeah. What do you do? I know something's coming. I want to see what it is.
Krisa scrambles out to be audible to yell back spaghetti, and then he goes back into the room with the boxes and crosses his arms and kind of looks around. All right, spaghetti, and all the crew members, all the shadows are like
yeah, the shadows probably didn't know the code word.
They leave the room with all the bombs in it. Krisa offers the guy with the tired guy with the checkbox a cigarette.
Yeah, he kind of.
Are you gonna light it for him?
Hallway. Yeah, no, he kind of he's going for it, but clearly he's hearing this scuffle break out in the back room. I want to say this is probably about where the right as he leans forward to retake it from you, the guns go off.
Chris shrugs and says spaghetti and pushes him back.
Yeah, he stumbles backwards.
And then you light the bombs.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it.
and wait, so you push it backwards and then it explodes? Is that what? Or what?
No, he's holding a lit cigarette.
Oh, okay.
And the bombs are just open and just in the air,
yeah.
Well, they're just the in open boxes, completely exposed. So he falls into the boxes or onto the boxes.
So this guard his name was Marcus.
No one gives a fuck.
He kind of cries out as he stumbles backwards, and he kind of reaches for the cigarette, and it burns his fingers, and so he kind of cries out again, and it drops from his hands, and you can see the eyes, both your eyes, just it cuts back and forth from you as it follows it, and it lands in a box, and then there's no noise for a sec.
Krisa leaves.
Yeah, Marcus he looks at you, and you leave, and then he's okay, and then it just blows up, and we cut away.
Cool. Well, all right then. Let's go ahead and do some XP really quick. We're already at 9 o'clock, so let's try to make some haste through the process. Ian, lead us through.
All right. So I think first we'll go for Krisa first. So, just a challenge with technical skill or destruction.
Yes.
Yeah. I think so.
Yep.
How many XP do you think that does? Is it 1 or 2?
I think that one was 1.
Okay.
I don't think I had to. I mean, it was all part of the plan, you know?
Yeah. It worked for the plan, but it did work well. So, okay. Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
I don't know. What does the peanut gallery say about that?
What do you guys? Yeah.
This is.
What do you think about? What did you basically? I think what is interesting that you learned about Krisa this like I mean, what did we learn? I think we've learned a few things. Mainly that he likes explosives, and he's also I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? Was there any things that stuck out to you this episode?
Well, so I think that in this episode, it wasn't so much us learning about like a characteristic of. Well, maybe it wasn't so much as us learning a piece of Krisa's like past or his history, but as much of like who like a characteristic of him being that he's able to be a leader. He's able to work on his own and do his own thing and successfully operate something and be trusted to do that, and do it well, even if he spaghettis for a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like heritage or background or anything, but I think that the fact that he was able to construct some bombs and then walk it in tells a lot about like the fact that he just doesn't care. He's just sort of like, yeah, I've got bombs.
Yep.
I mean, against all of the things that we've learned about him, his job was to go bring some bombs onto the ship and blow them up, and that's what he did. Yeah. So I think that, I want to say probably like 1 XP for that. I mean, that's fair. Yeah. Did you struggle with any issues from your vice or traumas during the session?
Nope.
No struggle.
Nope. All went pretty well. All right.
Pure bliss.
So that's 2 XP for Krisa. And now we'll move on to Lyric.
Yes.
Did you address the challenge with knowledge or arcane power?
Not this time. I
Okay.
addressed it with bullet power.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
Like a little. There was a little bit of stuff that came out in her conversations with Oscar, like kind of her distractedness while Oscar is poring over all of his documents and sharing this stuff. I kind of mentioned that very briefly. I didn't elaborate on it too much because we were kind of trying to prep for a score, but how she's coming down from this whole experience of preparing a ritual, still hasn't shared the fact that she has this ritual with anyone, and so she's kind of in this place of like crouching and waiting, as it were, you know, even when she's going into battle.
Yeah, and I almost want to say, as well as that, like we saw this kind of the way she's acted, but also the fact that like we see her, like they see you as a sailor as well, when they saw you on this boat, and also like the discussion we had about the warship. I like to think it happened with the crew, so it basically came down to, hey, Lyric, you know, you're like the only person that knows boats, so. Mm-hmm. Clearly can't take this boat, so I want to say, I think you should get 1 for that.
Yeah. I think
all right.
That's fair.
Yeah. Do you struggle with any issues from your vice or trauma?
I'm not sure if it really counts, because again, the distractedness, that kind of state that she was in earlier, I guess, is connected to the weird shit that she's into. So I don't know if we could skip it this time, or we could say that it's something that's kind of pervading her distantness. But I could go either way.
It could easily be. I want to say like this is it's more of like a we'll see. We're kind of seeing into what's going to happen next time as we come into the more deadly things, like as you're kind of dealing with this important score as it kicks off, but you're also mindless on other stuff. So I want to say maybe not this time, but like we'll see what happens next time. It could easily be like, happening.
Yeah, and I've gotten a lot of XP in the past couple sessions as we've dealt with lyric stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm perfectly content with just a little pinch of XP this time. Bless you.
Okay, then. We'll move on to Oscar.
Hi.
You address a challenge with knowledge or arcane power.
I restrained bear with ghost.
You did.
Hooray.
Mark an
Bears are weak to
XP.
ghosts.
Aha. Ooh, I'm very close to leveling up. Woohoo.
Yeah. You express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
So kind of. I one thing that got brought up was that I'm no longer allowed at Ojak's Market. Which is also a good time to just out of character tell you guys that I have changed my vice. When Oscar was gone and came back, there hasn't been a chance to talk about it much, but he's now his vice is obligation, and his purveyor is his family members, like Willie and his parents, who are not with him currently.
So he's not soft now?
No, he is. So he's super soft, but his vice is different. Yeah.
Oh, vice. Okay, sorry. I was thinking trauma.
No, that's okay. Yeah, he still has the soft trauma.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't know. It's up to you on that one.
I think 1 XP for like the kind of we're seeing changes in Oscar.
Okay.
Like especially the fact that now like I want to say like when you were leaning on Lyric and walking away, and when you were like basically playing up your old manedness, I also saw some more like it seems like Oscar's more and more coming across as an older guy. I mean, this is totally
It was Oscar's pleasure to be with his former co-workers, and he didn't really get a good chance to explain that a whole lot. But like he also mentioned, and this is part of struggling with his trauma, that he doesn't trust anyone except for Lyric right now. Like maybe Teresa, but definitely not Weaver yet. After this job, I'm sure that'll change. But he only trusts Lyric, and he wants to be with Lyric on that. Like he wants to work with her. So
okay. Yeah, take an XP for that.
Cool.
Did you struggle with issues from your vice or traumas during the session?
That's what I just mentioned. That I was soft.
What was the issue? Like what exactly? Like that you're trusting her? That like that's
right. So I'm soft toward her. Like I prefer her, and in fact I didn't get to. Again, I didn't really get to explain this in dialogue, but. When we were all talking about the different jobs and I said like, hey, we're all worth something, right? Like it's okay, right? Like Oscar for a moment asked for reassurance, which he's never done before. So
I noticed that.
That was me attempting to play into my trauma of being soft and fragile.
What? So. Okay. So the thing on that, I guess I understand that you're playing up to it, but did it cause any? Did you struggle with issues from it? Did it cause any? I guess the question is problems. Did it like do?
Probably not. I didn't struggle with issues from it. My character struggled with feeling accepted and comfortable in trying to lead the group to the next action.
Okay.
But
well, the question I have for you,
mechanically, no, I did not struggle with that.
Okay.
So.
I'll give an XP because I think it's definitely a side of Oscar we haven't seen so far. I think in the future, well, it's kind of like one of those issues. I had it with Silas playing my trauma a bit. My trauma was easier because it was unstable, so playing him already, it was like, it was pretty easy to play into it. But like the problem is that you is then in trying to find ways that you're okay with causing problems with it. So definitely, like I'll give you an XP because it's definitely a side we haven't seen from him, especially when we saw like Oscar, like him argue with Weaver essentially. So
yeah.
All right.
Cool.
All right, and now for Weaver. You were the only person to roll a desperate action.
I played Blaze in the Dark, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And that was your prowess, right?
That was correct. Yeah. And I put that XP there.
All right. Did you address this challenge with stealth or evasion?
If you count what I did with the gather information stuff, then I would say yes. So I get one.
I think that's fair. I think that the kind of going in as stealth and mainly I think that the reason it still works as stealth. Yeah, exactly. I mean, granted, Krisa was basically like, there's Weaver from the Gambit, but like that was still like you got away without, you got in, learned everything, you got out. So I think I'll give you. I think the XP is totally cool with that. You express your beliefs, drives heritage or background.
I would say so in the fact that during the initial conversation at the start of the session, he expressed his military background by being willing to be participating in what he saw as a planning session for an operation, and also his willingness to, state objections, but also fall back on the authority structure that's present. So, that kind of military, hey, there's an authority structure here, and, I might push it a little bit, but at the end of the day, I have orders, and there's someone who's obviously in charge, and I'm not that person. So
yeah, totally. I think take an XP for that. I like that. And so this is something I'm calling towards that I believe we'll find out next week. But there's like Mike when he used his Devil's Footsteps ability. I want to say
I didn't struggle with anything this session, no. So
okay.
I don't think I should take XP for that.
Okay. I guess we'll see how that goes next session, and where that comes from. But I thought I should call out there that it was something that could cause problems, and that's
I don't think that's not necessarily something that's tied directly to my vice or traumas at the moment, because my vice is just the obligation to the Red's Ashes.
Yeah, and I was saying from your beliefs drives heritage or background stuff was that what that's from. But I guess we'll just leave it at the other stuff. And you said you didn't struggle from your vice or trauma, so okay. And then we'll just real quick go through the crew sheet, because I mean it's gonna take no time at all, because we didn't where's the,
it's under the
yeah. You didn't execute a profitable burglary, robbery, or wait, this isn't even the right. Where's my
Shadow's
no, that's correct.
No, but the
successful
XP
espionage.
Yeah, espionage. The thing is on the crew sheet. The thing it's not the updated one. So you didn't execute successful espionage, sabotage, or theft. That'll happen next time.
Mm-hmm.
Contend with challenges above your current station. Anybody is above your current station right now.
Yeah, free XP, baby.
I like when the bar is
That's
nice
the best
and low.
news all day.
Yeah, exactly. There is benefits to being basically the
Worthless.
lowest on the rung. Yeah.
One for that.
Yeah. Bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one. You're trying to kill the Foghounds on their own territory.
Yeah, fuck to them.
Yeah.
Ambitious.
Yeah. So
1 or 2. That's pretty ambitious.
I think that's 1. They're only 1 tier above us, and we discovered that they were weak enough we could take them.
Plus, I'm probably going to give you more for it any time next time we play. So, yeah. And then express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew.
Every time.
Yeah.
Of course. I think that just to give examples of that, I don't know if you'd call it an argument between me and Oscar at the beginning, but that little disagreement there, that definitely showed some conflict.
I wouldn't call it an argument, but I agree that it is something worth noting, because it shows that like he doesn't fully trust you yet, especially like when Matt when you talk about only trusting Lyric, I think that totally plays into that as well. So I want to say 2 for this because of the whole, especially since like I also plays into the kind of nature of the way that Krisa was with the crew as well. Like the crew followed the bandits followed Krisa. So I think that's 2 XP for that, which should put you at, you leveled up and have 2 on your tracker now.
Good job, team.
Were you keeping track of that then?
Yeah.
He's tracking it.
Okay. I thought it was just at 1. So, cool.
No. I filled it up and then put it at 1 for the thing. So you have 2 on it now. And I think we'll do the thing where we think about what our crew upgrade advancement will be, and when we come back next time,
Yeah, we'll do that offline. And
yeah.
Cool. All right, well, let's do a quick round of shout-outs and then call it a night. Thanks, everyone, for sticking around. I know it's a little bit later than we normally do. Anthony, how about you give us a quick shout-out? What have you been up to?
Well.
Shout out to Stretching.
So, well, the new Magic the Gathering set is shaping up to be pretty cool. The latest round of... Honestly, I'm more excited about the masterpieces than probably anything else.
Ornithopter masterpiece.
Yeah, very cool. No, you don't think that's cool?
Here's what I think about it. I think I'm trying to foil out my Affinity deck, and I have two more new options for Ornithopter, and one of them is definitely more expensive than the other, and that does not make me happy.
Oh, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, but it's also a lot of dollar.
It's like $70 now, right?
That's
right now?
too many dollar for a 0-mana 0/2 flying creature.
It's about style, man.
Boy, gotta pay for a wedding.
It's all about style.
No, it's not.
Well, now we know where Matt stands on it. It's not about style.
No, foiling out your deck is not about swag. It's
about
functionality.
It's pure function. Yeah.
Cool. Anything else, Anthony?
Nope.
All right, Emily, how about you?
I don't really have a ton to shout out this time. I've kind of normally I shout out my YouTube channel, which is going to be active in the near future, but I've taken a bit of a hiatus from that. So it's a Mighty Sophia, as are all of my public social medias, but they've been pretty radio silent for the past couple weeks over the holidays. So there are television shows that are coming back that I'm going to review, like Bates Motel, for example, which usually premieres in March, and it's premiering in February, which is a fun show if you like Psycho, so the Hitchcock film. Anyways, I will be reviewing more TV, possibly video games, on my YouTube channel, so go subscribe preemptively and, check out what I do.
It's definitely worth it. You have a lot of good stuff up there, and more interesting new content to come. So yeah, check that out. It's in the chat, guys. Ian, how about you?
I'm kind of right now, unfortunately, focusing mostly on IRL stuff, work, and the like. I've been sick a lot lately, so it's made being present very hard. But hoping to get back onto doing stuff, drawing. I've done not a whole lot of that lately because being busy, which isn't fun, but getting back into that, which is cool. Hoping that I can, let me see if I can find it.
Oh, I thought this was going to be Jesus.
Oh yeah, I'll show him in a minute.
Okay.
My butt's gonna stop falling out for
show Jesus.
5 seconds.
Open Jesus.
I got this. Let me see. Where's the front? This.
Mouse guard. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're playing a role-playing game with that.
Role-playing mice.
Play adventuring mice. It's great.
Yeah, it's real cool. I got the box set, so I have a bunch of the dice and stuff, and lots of little things. And then I also got this as a Christmas, like a Secret Santa we had.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Hell, dude, it's giant.
so big.
I was telling him when he got it, like, if you actually just like put a couple of leather straps on the back of it, you could hold that and be like, I have a Jesus shield. Like you could LARP as a post-apocalyptic like paladin.
It's got like
and be like, yeah,
belts on the back. It's hurting my arms holding it.
Dude, it's awesome.
Wow.
We're also theorizing that it's actually John because it has John's name on it.
It's John 360.
It's great.
That's phenomenal.
Funny story.
Matt and I worked together in this Christmas party
wife,
to get this.
The wife of the family that was hosting the thing, she put it in the gift exchange, and then her husband accidentally picked it, and she was livid.
Yeah.
Because she was trying to get rid of it. It was great.
Yeah. It was at our Christmas party last year, and he got it, and she was not thrilled that he got it. So when I saw it, I was like, yes, I'm going to get this thing. And we did.
Yeah, it's great.
We got it.
Yep. All right, Mike, how about you?
I have to find a wall space for it, but...
Yeah, you.
I don't do anything cool on the internet, like participate in another fantastic role-playing game show that you should definitely watch at Mondays, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, which is 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Mondays.
Nice job.
I think I got all that right.
Yeah.
I was on stream yesterday trying to convert 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to Eastern Time, because that's one of the main ones that they use for their audience is Eastern Time. And I was like, it's 9:30, I think, Eastern Time. So you should definitely tune in to see that. I am having a good time playing my Dragonborn monk. He's pretty fun. And
thank God you're playing 5th edition. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
5th edition monks are ridiculous. I want you to know that. At
Not
later
ours.
levels, I just want you to know this. All right. I think it's like level 17 or something like that. The monk can get this ability that basically says you can punch someone and then like set off vibrations within their body, and at any time you can like just decide that you want them to die, and then they have to make a Constitution save or just die. And if they fail, they take like 10d6 damage anyway.
Yikes.
So
you will die long before ever getting that ability, though. Let's be fair.
I have no real hope that this character is ever going to see level 17, both because I'll probably die, and I doubt that I will be in that campaign for a long enough period of time to get to level 17. But I like the idea of being able to play a high-level monk, because they get some stupid abilities. Also, I have a Wings of Flying now for my monk. First session, I got the Wings of Flying.
It's cheating.
Because that's how Encounter Roleplay works, and random magic item tables. So.
Yep. All right. Well, anything else, Mike?
That is all for me.
Cool. As for myself, this is what I do here on twitch.tv/friendlyfiretv. Live stream some Magic the Gathering online, and I'll be continuing to do some more of that. And we'll see when we get to do more of that. Hopefully very, very soon we'll be playing some more Modern Affinity. If you're interested in Magic, come check that out. And yeah. Everything's in the chat. If you want to follow us on Twitch, it's right above Anthony. You'll be notified when we go live. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you'll again get notified. Well, you won't get notified anytime we're live, but you'll see anytime we update something. Because I do update anytime we do anything, whether it's uploading a video on YouTube, which, by the way, these VODs will be up on our YouTube, youtube.com/friendlyfiretvgaming tomorrow and Thursday, or because work's crazy right now, Thursday and Friday. Yeah, that's it. Anthony? Do you have a thing you'd like to say?
Rate, comment, subscribe.
Make sure to rate, comment, subscribe. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll be back next week, January 10th, 6:30 Pacific, and have a good night. Bye, guys.
Subscribe.